WLNS is here for you, celebrating 75 years of bringing you the news with 6 News at 5.
Israel's military says the ceasefire in Gaza is now in effect and its forces have withdrawn to the agreed-upon line. It's our top story here at 5. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Karina Prieto. Jorma is off tonight. This comes as President Trump is preparing a trip to the region this weekend. Erica Brown is here for you now with the latest from Washington.
Israeli forces began withdrawing its troops from parts of Gaza early Friday, starting a 72-hour clock for Hamas to release all of the remaining Israeli hostages. In Tel Aviv's Hostage Square, prayers of hope and thanksgiving were shared for the peace deal and return of the hostages. Louis Har was captured by Hamas and freed in February of 2024. He says he still has doubts other hostages will be released.
When we see the people here in Israel, I believe, not before.
In Gaza City, Palestinian refugees driven out by the war flooded back. This woman says she's trying to find her home, but doesn't recognize anything because it's all rubble. President Trump is planning to travel to the Middle East to attend the signing of the deal in Egypt. He also plans to be in Israel to address Israel's parliament and be on hand for the release of hostages.
The hostages will be coming back Monday or Tuesday. I'll probably be there. I hope to be there, and we're planning on leaving sometime Sunday, and I look forward to it.
The U.S. military will also help to stabilize Gaza with 200 service members working at a coordination center in Israel to monitor the ceasefire and help the flow of humanitarian aid into Gaza. Erica Brown, CBS News, the White House.
And Congressman Tim Walberg weighed in on the deal, saying he's happy with the plan so far.
Well, I'm so pleased, and I say that as a guardedly optimistic person. Because I don't think you can ever fully trust anything that Hamas says, but hopefully the signing that's done this weekend will, put that spike in the ground, as it were, saying at this point we've made this agreement and we'll move from here.
And 2 former secretaries of state are also sharing their views of the Israel-Hamas peace deal. CBS's Nora O'Donnell spoke with former secretaries of state Hillary Clinton and Condoleezza Rice about what these developments mean for a region upended by this conflict.
I really commend President Trump and his administration, as well as Arab leaders in the region, for making the commitment to the 20-point plan and seeing a path forward for what's often called the day after.
The conditions look somewhat better to be able to move forward. The one piece that I'm most concerned about is how do you get from a kind of transitional authority of some kind, a truly representative Palestinian authority.
Be sure to tune in to CBS Evening News tonight for more of the conversation with the 2 former secretaries of state. Well, as ICE raids continue across the country and even here in mid-Michigan, agents from Immigration and Customs Enforcement were believed to be in Meridian Township. Taryn Simmons spoke to an immigration legal service, and she's here for you now in studio. Taryn, they stressed to you that everyone, citizens and immigrants, have rights that they should use under the Constitution.
Karina, this comes after the Meridian Township Police Department learned Thursday morning federal agents were conducting an operation, but they do not know what it was. That's according to Supervisor Scott Hendrickson, who told 6 News their local officers do not assist in enforcing federal immigration laws. Immigration Law and Justice Michigan says due to heightened anxiety around ICE raids, they urge their clients to have their documentation with them at all times. Julie Powers is the Immigration Law and Justice Michigan's executive director. She says they help immigrants, refugees, and asylum seekers with their paperwork to become U.S. citizens or live in the U.S. lawfully. As ICE raids intensify across the country, a recent Supreme Court ruling now allows ICE agents to use race as a factor during the immigration stops. Powers disagrees with the ruling and says it's racial profiling.
But if you're here lawfully, say on a green card, right? You're working, you have a job, you're paying taxes, you're paying rent, or you have a mortgage, you're here, you're allowed to be here lawfully. And unless there's a warrant for your arrest signed by an immigration judge, you do not have to answer your door. And so what we're trying to tell people understand is that you do have those rights and you should be protected.
And in an update we have since we heard back from Immigration and Customs Enforcement, a spokesperson said what happened yesterday was not an ICE operation. The township's police chief says there was a miscommunication and they were originally told it was ICE, but now says it was Customs and Border Protection. Like ICE, that agency operates under the Department of Homeland Security. Stay with 6 News as this story continues to develop.
Well, thank you for that report and update, Taryn. Members of the Michigan State University Sunrise Hub hosted a teach-in today to talk about instating the Green New Deal at MSU. The Sunrise Hub at Michigan State says they are building a movement to stop climate change, create millions of green jobs, and ensure a livable future for all. The event featured break-off discussions and even an art build.
But the reality is the growing tide of authoritarianism that's making budget cuts, that's locking up people within our communities, and that's silencing protesters directly affects what we do here. And we have an obligation as Spartans to protect our community and make it a safer and better place for all.
And the group also spoke about how to combat the rise of fascism.